What is up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here, and we are back with another Marvel Snap video. We are going to be talking about what I think is one of the best decks in Pool 1, and that is the ZOOOO deck. You're going to hear tons of different content creators talk all about the ZOOOO deck because it truly is one of the most powerful decks, especially early on in your Marvel Snap journey. So without further ado, let's head on over and check out the ZOOOO. The ZOOOO deck is all about flooding the board with 1-cost cards and then using 2 or 3 main cards to sort of buff those up and make sure that they overpower and overrun your opponents. For any of you StarCraft fans out there, this is like Zerg Swarm. Arguably, the 2 main hitters that are going to take this deck to the next level are going to be first, Khazar. Khazar is a huge star in the 1-cost world because his ongoing effect is that 1-cost cards have +1 power. As a 4-cost, 4-power card, he's already pretty big himself in Pool 1, but that 1-cost cards getting 1 power is going to be absolutely massive and give a huge steroid to pretty much half of your deck, which is, as you can see, 1-cost cards. The next key card is going to be Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel used to be a 6-cost card, which made him not so amazing, but now being 5-cost, 3 power, he's going to give all of your other cards +1 power, which means he's going to buff up Khazar when we play him, and he's going to give the same Khazar effect to all of your other cards. When we flooded the board with those other cards, holy cannoli, Batman, it's going to be fantastic. Dropping Blue Marvel on him on turn 5. And our turn 6, we only have 1 6-cost card in there, and that's going to be Onslaught. I think Onslaught is one of the best cards in the game. At 6-cost, 7 power, Onslaught not only enables a lot of Pool 1 decks, but he enables just decks all throughout the game. He's going to double the ongoing effects of all other ongoing cards at that location. And if we have Khazar and Blue Marvel, that's going to mean that every other card, basically all your 1-costs, are going to have +4, which is going to massively swing locations when we get to that final turn and we drop Onslaught onto that location. Some other key cards that are going to enable us here are going to be Bishop, which is a 3-cost, 2-power card who gains +1 for every other card we play. So if we can drop Bishop on turn 3 and we don't end up going with our traditional play, which is going to be Khazar on 4, Blue Marvel on 5, Onslaught on 6, if we start playing some other cards or we get Bishop down early, we can play those 1-cost cards and really get Bishop pretty stacked for some power. Some ideal 1-cost cards are going to be Nightcrawler. You've heard me talk about him in the other video. I think Nightcrawler is one of the best Pool 1 cards in the game, and he can usually win a location for you, especially when he's buffed up from Khazar and Onslaught, and Blue Marvel is going to be absolutely huge. Squirrel Girl, I think, is another fantastic card because she generates 2 other 1-cost cards, just like all the power. I could talk through every single card in here, but really, y'all being able to see the strategy of these cards playing out is the big focus here. So if you have any questions about why I have certain cards in here and we don't cover them while we're playing, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to respond and let you guys know sort of why they're in the deck. I do like to remind people when you're checking out these videos that remember your matchmaking is based on your collection level. So because I'm at collection level 1706 right now, I'm going to be facing Pool 3 cards. And I'm not saying that Pool 3 cards are stronger, but it does have more play potential and bigger play potential. And there's a card, especially in Pool 2, that's really going to negate our ZOOOO deck, and that is Killmonger. So if we come across him in a game, you're going to see why that's a problem. But Killmonger doesn't exist in Pool 1, so you don't have to worry about that happening against this deck. Let's see how the ZOOOO does against the bigger play potential cards to hopefully highlight that not only can you crush with this deck in Pool 3, but in Pool 1, you'll just be an absolute monster out there. First game, we got District X, so it's really hard to highlight the beauty of your deck when, well, your deck doesn't get to be played. Thank you, second dinner. All right, so Atlantis, we aren't really going to lean into the power of Atlantis because we want to flood the board. That's the whole power of the ZOOOO. We don't really have any like huge big cards, so we're going to go ahead and put Nightcrawler over on Atlantis just to go ahead and get him out on the board. We can always hold Nightcrawler and play him on Angela, which allows us to empower Angela even more. Just because, yeah, like being able to, she gets +2 power for every card that's played there, and since we can move Nightcrawler away, that's not too bad. Drain Dimension cards cost 1 more, so that means that we're probably not going to get the ideal play of Blue Marvel on turn 5 because he's going to cost 6 power, so we could either save Khazar for that if he comes out. definitely an option for us to consider. Go ahead and get Angela down as our 2 cost. The beautiful part about a zoo deck is that some of your cards kind of ramp up, so you'll be able to tell, hey, I don't want to flood yet with this, or like this got played on this turn, so bada boom, bada bing. Electra is nice for us. She's going to destroy a 1-cost card at one of the locations. Not really too valuable for us yet. We don't want to play Angela or we don't want to play Squirrel Girl because that's going to get rid of our super flow. So let's actually go ahead and we'll play to buff Angela up, but not necessarily like, oh man, this is just like the best play ever. They played 3 cards, so they have, okay, so Mysterio. The thing about Mysterio is one of these is the real Mysterio, who's a 2/5. So because of super flow, we can go ahead and play. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play Blue Marvel over here because we know that we're going to be moving Nightcrawler over. Ooh, Patriot. Patriot is big. It's going to be tough to beat, but basically we're playing the same game as Patriot right now. We're just playing it a little differently. So, on turn 5, cards cost 1 more. So what we should be able to do here is we're going to play Yondu, and we're going to play Rocket Raccoon right here, because Yondu, we just want the card, and Rocket Raccoon, I imagine that they're going to try to throw something down on Dream Dimension to buff Patriot, maybe a Mystique or something of the likes. So if we predict that card like we did, boom, Rocket's going to get a big boost as well. I like getting rid of their Rogue because the Rogue could definitely detract from Blue Marvel. So boom, we with just some 1-cost cards have really buffed up. We've buffed up that middle location. So how do we want to play this? So we definitely want to put Onslaught down here because that's going to give everything +2. So that's going to move Nightcrawler up to 4, and we can play Squirrel Girl, who's going to be 3 more. They're at 6 power right now on Atlantis. If that's the real Mysterio, that would be good for them, obviously. But yeah, I think we're going to do this because it's going to add a ton of power to the base. Let's see. Okay, so they add Dr. Doom. We're just going to add 5 on both. Yeah. So, boom. Turns out to not be the real Mysterio is in middle, which is fantastic for us. So we end up with the win there. As you can see, there is a ton of power in like leaning into and buffing Onslaught turn 6, dropping him onto a location where he's going to double Blue Marvel or he's going to double Khazar is big for us. I mean, they have Patriot, which is a super big card. They have Dr. Doom is a big card. Mysterio is a big card. And they still weren't able to beat us because with Angela, we can buff her up, which is fantastic. And then all these 1-cost cards were able to do it for us. Being able to hold on to Rocket and predict Rocket. A lot of people like to play Rocket early on, but you kind of know where your opponent's going to play later on in the game. So holding on to Rocket is big for a later play to guarantee that power. So yeah, we got the dub on the first game. Let's head on to the second. Here we go. Playing against Kravalek. Mindscape. At the start of turn 6, we're going to swap hands. We don't love it. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. We're going to go ahead and play Yondu right off the bat, because Yondu on turn 1, pretty much always going to be a high value play, because the odds of them having their major combo cards in their hand, pretty low. So we have a chance to get rid of one of them in their deck. Okay, Bifrost. Cards are going to move 1 to the right. So yeah, we want to go ahead and we're going to play Angela here, because if this ends up being a location we can't play to or something like that, we can still stack Angela up pretty heavily. Yeah. Let's see what this last one is. Okay. That was pretty rude. Got rid of their Nova. So that's big for us. So we're going to play Nightcrawler. Oh. Okay. We're going to play Captain America there.
Avengers!
I really am struggling looking at the cards that we've seen get discarded from their deck. struggling to see. They've gotten rid of Okoye, Nova. Like, what? We're going to play Bishop here. And we're going to play Nightcrawler there. We play Bishop. If you're playing Bishop that turn, you always make sure that you play Bishop first, because that way every other card that's laid after it still buffs Bishop. We're going to play Nightcrawler to Angela, because it's going to buff Angela, and then if we don't love what's going on, we can move Nightcrawler over to Mindscape. We can move him over to Bifrost, since he's going to get, we get to move Nightcrawler. If he moves on his own, it doesn't matter. Like, if he moves, we still have the opportunity to move him. Okay. So, this is tricky. This is tricky because if we give them Elektra, they get to kill either Yondu or Nightcrawler in theory. So that's not great. So I think Blue Marvel is like a must play. So we're going to play Blue Marvel to Angela. That's going to buff her. And we're going to bank. We're going to do that. They're going to give us 3 cards. We're only going to give them Elektra. So they're going to play Namor over there. This is a predicament. So we can move Nightcrawler over here. If I had to guess, they are going to try to play Elektra to middle. Yondu has 3 power right now. They would need a ton of power in the right location to take over. And if they play Elektra, they're not going to play a big card. If we move this here, that'll be 21. So that'll drop to 17. So they'd still have to play 13 power on Sokovia, which won't get them there. And if they destroy Iron Man if they destroy Iron Man, or we're going to snap on that, try to scare them off maybe. Because if they play Elektra to middle, it will destroy either Yondu,
I am Iron Man,
or it will destroy... Okay, so they played Killmonger and Elektra. That seems a little weird. I don't know why. Oh, yeah. Okay. Victory. So as you saw, Killmonger obviously could hurt us a lot. We didn't really draw any of our zoo cards there, so it didn't draw back from the win. One of these days, we're going to draw Khazar. It's going to be fantastic. All right. Cards here have no abilities, have +3 power. We do not have any cards in our deck that have no abilities. So, Washington, D.C., not a really big help for us. We're going to go play Nightcrawler. Sitting duck to an Elektra. And if we were playing in Pool 1. But we're fine with that. That's where I would... Nightcrawler early is fine, but just be ready if you're playing in Pool 1 that, you're asking for You're asking for the pain. Okay, so we want Hulk. We want a Hulk. So we're going to go ahead and sacrifice Angela for this as well to put 2 cards down there and hopefully get an advantage. They have apparently a lot of high-cost cards because I don't know why you would just waste Mystique like that, but okay, buddy. Okay, so we want to go ahead. We're going to play this and this. We're going to play Bishop to start buffing up Ant-Man. And then we're going to play Squirrel Girl to get some more 1 cost up and around the board. Because right now, nothing's in Lechugia. So 1 cost card there is going to do really well for us. Let's see. Spectrum. Okay. That's not a bad card because Spectrum does things for them. So we're going to play Rocket over there. And then we're going to play Khazar to the middle. Here's why we're going to play Khazar to the middle. Because if we play Khazar to the right, it does add more power over there. But we're not necessarily terrified for power on that location. And if we play Khazar to the middle, it does shuffle 3 rocks into our deck. Which makes it so that strategy doesn't matter. They do. They do. You try to fill the board. And you try to make sure that you prep yourself for Onslaught. to come in and make that like boom at the end. That's what we always want to be there for. And don't fall into the victim or the trap of I have to play Khazar on 4, Blue Marvel on 5, Onslaught on 6. Like, feel free to play around with that a little bit. As we saw, we were playing Bishop and then a 1-cost card, and then we play Khazar on the next turn and then a 1-cost card. Don't lock yourself into a strategy of this is how the deck plays, and it's like very linear. This game is not designed to be linear. Here we go. Killed. Okay, no cards can be played here after turn 4. So we're going to go ahead, start flooding the board. The key to the zoo, we want to flood. If we have all of our locations filled, that's big for us. Especially when we already see that we have Khazar and Blue Marvel. Huge. Huge. Okay. Add a random card. What'd you give me? Dracula. Terrible card. We're going to play Bishop to Kill. Here's why we're going to play Bishop to Kill. Because that location is going to lock next turn. But we can still influence that location even when it's locked because of what Bishop is. Okay, so we got 2 rocks. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to play Khazar down. Yeah. We're going to play Khazar. And then we're going to end up playing Blue Marvel as well. And then on that last turn, we're going to build, like we're just going to flood the board with some power with some rocks and Nightcrawler. Okay, rock. Another rock. Deadpool. Okay, so they're looking to destroy Deadpool. That's a little interesting. I don't know why they would buff Angela and then be ready to destroy. Okay, so I know we said we were going to do this on the last turn, but I'm assuming that Shay McSmurf is going to try to do something to get rid of Deadpool. So he needs to play something else to the hub. So we think Rocket is going to be big there. Let's play Nightcrawler, Rock. We're going to play, so that's going to be 4 cards played. So Bishop's going to go up 4. It's going to be 9-0 at that location. The reason we're playing the second rock to that location is because we can always move Nightcrawler away so it's not fully locked down. Okay, big whiff on the read there. My bad. Khazar, remember, rocks are our friends because we have Khazar on our side. Okay, so an Onslaught here or something would be big. It's going to be Blue Marvel, no doubt, because Blue Marvel is how we get the most power out of the board.
Opponent snapped.
I don't think they're going to play anything else to Subterranea because, yeah, they're not going to play anything else to Subterranea because Devil Dino is going to be the buff there. They aren't going to play too many cards. At most, Kilt's locked, so at most they can play 3 cards, which would drop Devil Dino some, but it's not going to drop him a ton. I think we play Blue Marvel here. It's going to add 6 power to this location. It's going to add 4 power to the middle location, and it's going to add 3 power to the left. So we're going to be winning Kill 12-0. So we just got to hope that we come close or maybe tie in one of these other locations. Let's see. Play 2 cards. So the 2-coster is there. Bang! Mathed it.
Victory.
So that's what we knew we needed to tie. Whew! And that was close. We knew we needed to tie. I didn't think about the fact of Angela getting the +2. But we tie the right, and we win by 1 to close it out. Y'all, as you can see, it is so fun. The key is you flood the deck. Like, you want to flood the board. Having these rocks out here, which in lots of decks, if you get Subterranea, the rocks are a bummer. But in Pool 1, you run a Zoo deck, you're running Khazar, the rocks are your friend. You're going to have a fantastic time leaning into it and embracing those 1-cost cards. We didn't even get Onslaught for the later games, and we were still able to pull out the W because we flood the board. You get those 1 costs out there, power up your Bishop, power up your Angela, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to win that game in pool 1. That is the Zoo deck, a little bit of an overview for it. I hope that you guys can get out there, play it, enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Zoo deck, if there are cards that you would add that I didn't add, or if there's cards in there that you would take out that I have in there. Would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on it, and thank you so much for tuning in and watching. If you be willing and you like what you see here, a like and a subscribe go a long way to help support what we're doing here on the Robbie C Gaming channel. I want to say thank you as always for tuning in and watching, and I hope that you guys love some Marvel Snap and that you get all of the dream combos off and you're just crushing your opponents game after game after game. I want to say thank you as always for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of the week, and hopefully you can make it great for someone else too. But for now, I'm going to leave you with a Snap and the Wombo combo. It's 30. I don't know how the math works out. I literally can't explain it to you, but we're going to snap because we 100% win this game, because Ironheart is going to trigger 256 times, because this is high key comedy to me. It was indeed a close one.